It's a busy morning at Spencer Junction, located next to the township of Port Augusta in South Australia's mid-north. Pacific National Intermodal 2PS7 arrives onto the crossing loop, while Aurizon's empty ore 6911S departs from the yard. Another PN Intermodal 2PM5 currently sits in the yard refueling, while a loaded Ballast Train prepares for departure. The Ballast Train, operated by Aurizon, is the third in 3 weeks to operate north from Spencer Junction onto the Tarcoola to Darwin line. 3 locomotives are used on this service, with FQ02, CM3309 and ALF23 hauling around 3,900 tonnes of train and about 2,700 tonnes of ballast, which will be used in routine maintenance between Tarcoola and Alice Springs. The train loaded at Whyalla, 70 kilometres southwest of Spencer Junction, the day prior, and today is operating through to Tarcoola via the Trans-Australian Railway before entering the Tarcoola to Darwin line to head north for unloading just south of Alice Springs. We'll be chasing the service approximately 280 kilometres as it works its way through the remote Outback regions towards Kultanaby. Now 25 kilometres north of Spencer Junction, we're just south of Tent Hill Crossing Loop, named after the neighbouring hill that looks a bit like a tent. The Ballast Train, now in motion, is following about 2 sidings behind the empty ore train, with the 3 locomotives making progress on the slight uphill grade towards the loop. The leading engine, FQ02, is very at home in this area, having been built at the EDI Rail Port Augusta workshops just a kilometre from the train's origin in 2003, with the unit working trips from Adelaide to Darwin and return ever since. The middle engine, CM3309, will be the first CM to work on the Darwin line, with this class of locomotive rarely utilised north of Spencer Junction, with ALF23, the trailing unit, bringing back the old days on the back, with this engine the only one of the 3 built last century, prior to the line it's about to operate on even opening. The curves around the hills, creeks and lakes near Woocalla create a unique shot, with the service now captured between the loops of Woocalla and Macleay, about 5 kilometres from the latter location. The famous spot at the Wirrappa S-curves could not be missed on this chase, with this location a stunning spot to view heavy trains twisting their way up the 1 in 100 grade towards the highway road bridge. The 3 locomotives on the lead produce over 10,000 horsepower to haul the 3,900 tonnes up the grade. Pimba is located nearly 200 kilometres into this chase, and is about to become a new rail hub, with Aurizon and BHP teaming up to move copper from the region via rail to Port Adelaide. The location we're standing on will soon be the site of the new terminal, which will be open prior to 2027. The Aurizon loaded Ballast Train appears, working upgrade into Pimba from the east. Across the Burrando, located in the sand dunes just east of Lake Hart, held the train for about 30 minutes before it could continue. Lake Hart is located on the boundary line of the Woomera Prohibited Area, a major Australian military and civil aerospace facility controlled by the RAAF, used for training, testing and exercises by the Australian Defence Forces. On this day, the area was active, and what appeared to be a globemaster could be seen circling the lake. The railway line is in many places the boundary for the Woomera Prohibited Area, including at Lake Hart, with the line running along the side of the Salt Lake for just over 3 kilometres, giving train crews on the freighters and passengers on the Ghan and Indian Pacific a unique look at the Outback. A final shot of the Ballast Train comes between the sidings of Coondamboo and Kultanaby, at the final road bridge on the Trans-Australian Railway for over 1,500 kilometres. From here, the train will continue 120 kilometres west to Tarcoola before turning north onto the Darwin line for a further 830 kilometre journey to Alice Springs.